Sal and Jerry with you until 10 o'clock. We've got lots to do. We had a DeGrom night last night. We had a wonderful night at Citi Field. We had the U.S. Open. Serena Williams winning yet again, taking down the 2 seed. We've got Zoo. We've got Mike. We've got CeeLo. We've got tons to do. And while you were sleeping, yes, we've got the Yankees to do.
Well,
and
we were
boy,
all
oh
sleeping.
boy. Well, we sort of slept. Good morning, Sal. How are you?
I'm all right. It's nice to be here on a Thursday with you, Jer. I woke up.
Thursday, September 1st. I got the date right today.
I was waiting for you to say
September,
it. I mean, please,
dude.
let me know. It's hard to believe, right?
September.
Rabbit. A third grade teacher, Jer, once told me the first word that you say for a new month should always be rabbit to have good luck. And
Rabbit?
Yeah, but like a rabbit's foot, I guess.
You didn't say that when you walked in.
Well, I said it before when I woke up.
Oh, shut up.
But from third grade, you believe that stuck with me?
I do, and that's why coming up later we will do something to test everybody's memory. So,
I'm looking forward to that game, too. But, yeah, so you wake up. I don't know about you. I watched the Met game last night because it went quickly, which was nice.
I heard a lot of it driving back from an event, sort
Right.
of, and then I saw the rest of it when I got home. Yeah.
Same, and then was able to catch that at the end of it and everything, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But then I woke up this morning. I did not watch the Yankees. I went to bed, try to get some rest.
I did see a lot of this.
Wow, you watched it live?
A little trouble sleeping.
What time did you go to bed?
Late.
Wow.
I did not, so I didn't see the ninth inning. And the ninth inning, so if you're just waking up late last night, early this morning, well, really late last night, the Yankees lost to the Angels and lost another series and completed a month of August where they went 10-18. I didn't see the ninth inning where Judge and Stanton walked to lead off the inning down a run.
Did you see the Ohtani homer live?
I saw the whole inning.
Wow.
And this is where, so if you're waking up, you're going to see that the Yankees lost 3-2. And if you go right to the box score, you're going to see that Garrett Cole gives up a 3 spot in the 6th inning, and you're going to think, oh, here we go. That's the bad inning again. I got to tell you, Garrett Cole and Kay and Flaherty were talking about it, that he wasn't dominant, but he was sharp. Now, that might not make sense to you, but basically what Flaherty was saying was he was hitting his spots, he was pitching the contact, and a lot of weak contact, and there wasn't a whole lot happening for the Angels. As a matter of fact, until you got to the 6th inning, so to rewind, they go up 2-0 in the 5th, and you know what, Sal? What have we been complaining about? You know, it's just the home run ball. They don't generate any runs. Well, you know what? Donaldson, maybe the third baseman could have made a play. I don't know. But Donaldson doubles in the inning, gets to second, goes to third on a wild pitch, and then scores on a Torres double. Wonderful. Torres then moves to third on a fly ball hit down the right field line. Sac fly, wonderful, and then scores on a deep fly ball hit by Hicks. They generate a run. It's 2-0. You move ahead to the bottom of the 6th inning. And I wasn't even aware of this until Flaherty said it. The Angels had no one reach second base yet at this point in the game. Like, Cole is pitching well. Is he pitching great? No, he's pitching very well, though. And then you get a couple of things that happen in this 6th inning. The 1-out single by Fletcher, fair enough. Donaldson makes a beautiful play, throws a little wide. LeMahieu, it's just out of his reach. Otherwise, you get the out, and then comes the play. You've got a ground ball that is hit, and I'm not blaming Isaiah Kiner-Falefa for the game last night, and he's been great. This was as routine a ground ball as a major league shortstop, a college shortstop, or a high school shortstop will ever see. He flat out just drops the ball. And so the runner doesn't advance because it's hit right in front of him. So now you've got, and that was Trout that hits the ground ball. It makes a great pitch on Trout. Trout hits the ground ball. He drops it. There's nothing else to say. So instead of having a base open, you have Ohtani now with first and second. Now, you could have, if you had the, I don't think you'd walk
Cole
him.
gives up a homer, as he's done.
After, which is amazing too, on the first pitch, he comes up and in on Ohtani, and Ohtani's telling him, yeah, hit me. And Kay and Flaherty are like, if you're Ohtani, shut up. And then the Angels in the dugout, they start checking it, and they're even like, even if it did hit him,
we want him
say
up
it
there.
didn't hit him. And then Cole misses on a little slider, breaking ball, sinker, or whatever it was. I mean, just below. And then he throws the fastball that he clocks. And it was kind of like the reaction from the Angels pitcher the other day where he knew it. And Cole, you could see, was so pissed. But fact of the matter is he makes a bad pitch, yes. You got to get more help. You got to get more help.
Yeah,
and then
still,
they do nothing offensively the rest of the way.
They had 3 hits the
I
entire
agree.
game.
I'm with you. I don't want to come on here this morning having watched it. I can't come on here this morning and just crush Garrett Cole for last night.
It's not just about Garrett Cole. It's about the whole team. Offensively.
Oh, it's everything. I agree.
Offensively, but here's the thing. Garrett Cole had a chance to not give up a home run, and he did.
You're right.
And you want to talk about Kiner Falefa? He also had a chance. And I don't care what the numbers say. And did you hear about Aaron Boone after the game talking about, well, he's the best shortstop or whatever with run saves. He's one of the best shortstops defensively. Here's the thing. I watched Kiner Falefa. We all watch him, right? You're watching the games. Early on, when you're watching him play for the first time with the Yankees in April, I'm thinking to myself, he's not a good defensive shortstop. They sold him as being a great defensive shortstop that's going to, hit a little bit. And he looked like, to me, and my eyeballs that's watched baseball for 40 years, whatever it's been, are saying he's okay defensive. He's not like this great defensive shortstop. I know what one of those looks like, and he's not it. And then here you are, fast forward now to a time where they need him to make a routine play, and he doesn't make the play. And then Boone's defending him. That is unacceptable. Kiner Falefa is not here because he's hitting 30 home runs. He's here because he's supposed to be a good defensive shortstop, which he is not. The numbers are crap. They're lying to you. He's not a great defensive, solid, whatever, maybe, but that's not good enough. Not for the New York Yankees.
Look at this. You're watching it. It's unbelievable.
Routine ground ball.
Yep.
I mean, Jerry, you and I can make that play, for goodness sake. Really? And you got him. This is a time where the Yankees need to win a series here. So he boots that play because he's not as good as a defender as Cashman and the Yankees front office thinks. And then Garrett Cole, who's supposed to be an ace, goes out there, the next batter, and gives up a 3-run homer. And that is why the Yankees are in a bad spot right now. That is why they've been bad for 2 months. And then you look at it overall, they're supposed to be built on the big bad offense. They mustered 2 runs on 3 measly hits.
That was it.
Against the crappy Angels.
Yeah. And then they even, like I say, even the top of the ninth, you get the top 2 big guys on, nothing. And then after that, 1, 2, 3, see ya. And Cabrera comes in. I agree. And I have been one to sit here and say no panic. It's 7, it's 8. Well, you know what? You wake up this morning now, it's 5. It's 5 in the loss column.
And not only that, though, Jared, and we talk about this all the time, it's the way that they're playing. Why should, and I know we did, joking around yesterday, what do you think is going to happen? Win with the Mets or Yankees, whatever. But right now, outside of my being brainwashed from either the history of watching the Yankees growing up or the first 2 months of the season, right now, you know what I was thinking? How the hell did the Mets get swept by this team? They still stink. The Yankees are still the same team that we saw in July and then since the All-Star break. They're not any good. All they do is lose series anymore. That's all that happens.
And these last 2, and I know what they'll tell you. Well, it's the majors. I get that. But this is the A's and the Angels who combined are just putrid record-wise. And I know the Angels were playing well into the series fine, and they got Trout and they got Ohtani. I get it. But they've been this team lost 17 games in a row at one point this season.
Unbelievable.
They are not a good baseball team. And the Yankees, who were historically great in the first 2.5 months of the season, it's I cannot believe this is the same season. I really can't, because you and I can go back to June when we did our first summer shows. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there telling you 98 Yankees, 2000 Yankees. Look at these teams they're compared to. And, I look up and down the lineup and I see stars and I see Judge and Stanton. And I'm thinking Cole and Cortez was off to this amazing start. It's 10-18 in August. 10-18. Now, I'm sure there are a couple of other teams that were worse than that. Not many, though.
Yeah, Detroit.
Not many.
Pittsburgh. Think about it, Jared. If I were to ask you a month and a half ago, will the Yankees lead? Forget about winning the division. Mm-hmm. Will it ever? There was a time where we weren't even sure we'd get to single digits. But if I were to ask you, would it ever get down to 6? What would you have said?
No.
No way.
No.
Maybe it gets to 9, maybe 8.
I thought they were going to have this thing wrapped up by the first week of September. And how could you not think that with a 15-game lead like they had?
The fact, and by the way, if they were in a better division, they'd be out of first place right now.
Yeah.
But the fact that this series now, all of a sudden this weekend, is enormous. And I think realistically going in, who's to say that they can't get swept? Now, will they? Who the hell knows with this team? I don't know what to think, as I've been saying for a month and a half now. I don't know what to believe. They go out there, they beat down everybody for the first 2 months of the season at a historic rate, and now all of a sudden they can't win series. They can. And look, Boone, and this is not on Boone. Obviously, it's not on Cole, and even kind of level. He made a horrible play, a horrible error, but it all adds up to losing. Just like the same way with the Mets, we'll talk about different plays that added up to winning a tight game against a good team. Well, each of these things add up for losing, but that's been the constant here. And, Jared, this type of collapse, we talked about this 2 weeks ago when we did these shows together. This is the type of stretch that gets managers fired. I know it's September. I know they're likely not going to do anything. And I also know it's not Aaron Boone's fault. However, this is unacceptable. This can't happen. And Cashman, too. I mean, he built this team. They are a problem right now. And you're going to say at the end of the year, well, the year they're going to have 90-plus wins, whatever. No. The way that they have played over the last 2 months, that to me is more indicative of what this team really is. It would now take a miracle to go on a run and go win the World Series.
Yeah, because I don't know how they're beating anybody in the playoffs right now. Not with the way this offense just disappears. And last night's another good example. Yeah, they get the 2-0 lead. Yes, I like the way they generated a run after they score the run. But my goodness, you're right. 3 hits. They weren't facing, Cy Young last night. I know he's had a decent season, but, I mean, come on. And there's just been too many of them. And they don't generate anything. They don't get guys on base. 1, 2, 3 inning after 1, 2, 3 inning. And then when they do get a couple of guys on, they do nothing with it. And it's a problem. It's a big problem because, like we're talking about with the Mets, with the whole, DeGrom, Scherzer, Bassett thing, and you feel great about it. Well, that's what the Yankees are going to face. Whoever they play in the playoffs, they're going to get the best of the other team. And right now, I don't feel like they're capable of beating the other team's best.
All right, so let me play devil's advocate against myself here for a second, if I might. Yeah. Because I sit here and say, it's going to take a miracle for them to win. But kind of what we mentioned yesterday, you look on paper and say, how is this happening? And then all of a sudden, and even if you watch them in the 2 games against the Mets, you're thinking, all right, maybe now I could see how they could come out of this and maybe get it turned around. And then you anticipate getting healthier, with Severino coming back. Cortez will come back at some point, the bullpen looking like it is. If they start to hit the way LeMahieu should hit, the way Benintendi and Stanton should hit, and Donaldson, if they start to do that, then all of a sudden you could say, okay, you know what, maybe we buried them too soon. But, I mean, we've seen it for so long here. And by the way, how about pinch hitting for Trevino? Late in that game, who's been a guy that one of the guys was an all-star, one of the guys that you should be able to trust in that spot.
Cabrera at the end.
Yeah.
I hear you. There's a lot wrong. There's a lot wrong, and this is while you're making your point, I wanted to look because when you go back and we've talked about July is where it kind of started to go the wrong way, and July is where they started to play very average baseball, not bad baseball. Yes. So if you go back to, let's turn the page to 4th of July weekend.
Right.
They lose to Cleveland, lose to Pittsburgh. And those are the 2 games you've pointed to the entire time.
Because the Pittsburgh series, where I'm thinking, they split with the Pirates? And it was at the time one measly series, no big deal. But how do you split with the Pirates?
That was the start of very average baseball, I think you would probably point to. I mean, this team at one point, you're looking at numbers like 52-18 through 70 games. I mean, that's where we were talking about this historic start. And then, July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, right into the 4th of July week, whatever you want to call it. Things get very win 3, lose 3, win 1, lose 2. And things kind of got off kilter at that point. And now you're at a point now where they don't even win series. And it's not even that you're playing average baseball. You're playing poor baseball. A team that was think about what I'm going to say. Again, through 70 games, they were 52. They won 52 of their first 70. They can't win a series right now.
You knew it would level out at some point, or at least slow down.
Level out,
bit.
Not this.
This is bottom out. I mean, they have won 1 series, and it was against the Mets, a 2-game series the entire month of August, right? That was it.
I think so, yeah. Has to be.
For a team that never loses series, they only won 1 series against the Mets somehow in August. That's it.
So if I look so obviously they swept the Mets, which we know. Mm-hmm. That is it. They split with the A's, which we know, lose the series to Tampa, lose the series to Toronto, lose the series to Boston, lost the series to Seattle, swept by the Cardinals, lost to Seattle 2 of 3. My good. All right. No, it's July. I was going to say they took 3 of 4 from Kansas City.
Yeah, after they got swept by the Mets. They got swept by the Mets and then won 3 of 4 from Kansas City. You're thinking, all right, maybe they'll right the ship here. But that was the end of July.
Right.
And then they just lost this one to the Angels.
It's hard. It's actually, once you get into July, it's hard to find series wins. They took 2 of 3 from Baltimore, and that's it.
They lost to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Remember, that was Castillo coming in and pitching well. Cincinnati's a bad team, and the Yankees lose. There were signs.
That's even more the disturbing part, is how they've played against mediocre and bad teams. Hasn't been great. It's not like they're losing to Houston every week. It's not like it's Toronto and Tampa and teams like that. They're not losing to Atlanta. I mean, it's been not great teams. There's a lot that's concerning, but that might be the most concerning part, that they're not taking care of business when you feel like you've got a get-right series, they ain't getting right. And now you go into Tampa, which is a brutal place to play. I don't think historically they've been terrible there, but they ain't been great there. And now you're taking on a team that's played really – and they've had injury problems too, Tampa, as we know. And this team, it is fascinating what the Rays do year in and year out. And here they are, just 5 out in the loss column with 3 in a row now at home.
Yeah, now if you're them, if you're the Rays, this is what we were talking about last week. Like the Rays now have to feel like, hey, we've got life. We were dead and buried. We've got a shot now to come back and win this thing. And we just got to take care of business against the Yankees. Even if they win, Jer, 4 of the 6, they play 6 games coming up, like you said. If they just won 4 of the 6, that's gaining 2 games right there on the Yankees. That's a lot of work. Now you're talking about 3 in the loss column. That could be made up over the rest of the, 25 other games or 24 other games that they have remaining. So, and hell, maybe they sweep. Who knows?
Would you be stunned if you woke up Monday morning and the Yankees won all 3, the Rays won all 3, or somewhere in between?
No, but and here's the thing for the Yankees: all that it will take for them to shut us up and calm the doubters.
Go win 3 games.
That's it. Like literally,
100%.
As a matter of fact, maybe even just a series win. Dare I say it? Even if they won 2 of 3 and gain a game, like they've built up enough equity. The Rays have no wiggle room here. If the Yanks gain a game over the course of 3 games head-to-head, that's a win. And it makes it way less likely that they will blow that would seem to be an insurmountable division lead. However, at this point, asking the Yankees to win 2 of 3 from anybody seems impossible.
It has proven that. It is. I mean,
aside
again,
from the Mets, of course.
And you take those. I'll go back to the A's game, that A's series. You win the first 2. You felt like you had gotten right. That game Saturday.
They won 5 in a row.
Right?
I
know. And that game, was it 5 or 4?
No, 5. They beat
Toronto.
They beat the Blue Jays. The Mets for 2. The
it was
first
5.
2 at Oakland.
It was 5. And so they win those 2. That Saturday game in extra innings, they had a chance to win, and they gave it away.
Just trying to look at do we know the rotation? Herman on Friday here, and it's according to the ESPN website, so who knows how accurate that's going to be here. Herman on Friday, but you're going to have no Cole. You're probably going to have Clark Schmidt start one of these games. You get no Cortez. Tyone just got hurt. So, I mean, what are we looking at with the Yankee rotation?
And that's the other issue. And then you look at the bullpen and you look at the engine. And we praise the bullpen for what they did the other night, and rightly so.
Montas is going to pitch one of the games. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Herman, Montas, and probably Clark Schmidt, I would guess.
Well, likely Clark Schmidt,
game.
because Boone said that the other night after he pitched. They asked, is he going to stay in the rotation? He said, yes. He said, we need him to pitch.
So there you go. Herman, Schmidt, Montas in a huge series at the Trop.
Yep.